Welcome to Wednesday. I'm Renita Young. If you've just tuned in, this is Your Money Story. And today we're going to talk about an important topic. Now, we're almost at the end of the year, but there's still some things that you can do to maximize your tax savings and get you ready for 2022. So I'm going to bring on Danielle Shirley. She goes by Danielle Invests, Danielle_invests on Instagram. And she's also the founder of International Money University and, of course, a personal finance educator. So let me grab her. Hang on for a moment.
Good morning.
Good morning, Renita. How are you?
I'm well. How about you?
Oh, I'm so happy to be talking to you today.
Thank you. Me too. You're in sunny Miami right now, right?
Yes, I'm enjoying the weather. Not gonna lie, it's always beautiful here.
Of course it is. Well, and that's where you grew up as well. You say you grew up in a Caribbean household, right?
Yeah.
And from ages 15 to 30, you had 2 or 3 jobs, right?
Yes.
So let's just jump right into it. Like, what was your relationship with money like growing up?
Well, that's a great point. So, from 15 to 30, I was always known as the person to work 2 or 3 jobs. I was a hustler by heart, making a lot of money, but not making great financial choices, right? I'd make the money, then immediately spend it. So as we know, that's not the true way to wealth. I wasn't having my money work for me. So I would get random jobs. I'd either be at school or at work. And so it wasn't until later on in life that I realized the true way to build wealth and lasting wealth is to take back my time and make my money work for me through investing. Stock market investing is something that I absolutely love, and it's what I actually teach. So by trade, I'm a financial educator, and I teach millennial moms how to invest for their kids. That financial literacy gap is something that I'm passionate about teaching my own children as well.
Absolutely. And I may as well ask about it. You have a course or your latest project that talks about that, how to invest for your kids. What's the number one thing people will walk away knowing after participating in your latest project?
I think that the number one thing that they'll walk away knowing is actually, number one, feeling empowered. My course is geared towards beginners who don't know how to invest and may be investing for the first time for themselves and also for their children. So they're going to walk away feeling that the stock market is a lot less scary than they probably thought, right? And they're also going to walk away with all of the questions answered about the various accounts that are out there for kids, like a 529 college plan, like a Roth IRA, like just a standard brokerage account. So I think that's the biggest thing. They'll be empowered to take action from day one.
Okay, good. And they can find that on your page. But today we're here to talk about wrapping up the end of the year finances. I know this time of the year comes, we have money that is in our FSA accounts that we haven't spent yet. And we may be rushing to make better tax contributions or charitable contributions for tax purposes. So you said the first thing we can do to wrap up this year's finances is simply reflect, right?
Yes.
Where should we be looking?
So in my opinion, the best way to reflect is to not be so hard on yourself, right? So I'm guilty of this all the time. I beat myself up about what I didn't do, what I could have done better, what I could have done sooner. You know what? Take this moment to decide, where was I in 2021 financially? Okay. Was I overdrafting my bank account? Was I actually well with money? Was I contributing to my retirement savings? So one of my biggest, my favorite accounts are retirement savings accounts because of the tax benefits, like you said. So it's the end of the year. So what are we doing? We're maxing out our contributions to our retirement accounts. So that would be your IRAs or your 401ks. So if you have, the ability to max that out, definitely do so before the end of the year. If not, contribute as much as possible and then make your goal for the following year. But it's funny that you said FSA. So I have a funny story about that. So
okay.
For those of you who don't know, FSA is a flexible spending account. It's an account that gives you tons of tax savings and is used for medical purposes. So you can use it for vision, for co-payments at the doctor's office, for prescriptions. It's really a huge savings. But there is a caveat If you don't use the money, you lose it. So little old me, you know, maybe a year or two ago, was that person at the eye doctor saying, I need like 3 years worth of contacts and new glasses because I need to blow this $500 like today.
Yeah.
Because if you don't use the money in that account, you essentially lose all of that money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to use that before the end of the year.
I've been there before, definitely. So the next thing you say, consider tax savings options, right? Charitable giving is one thing I brought up earlier. How can people just consider this, or what are some of your places to look?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, find your passion, find what you're passionate about. Consider giving a charitable gift. You know, you definitely want to talk to your accountant, your CPA, about how your gifts can impact you in your tax season. But also, one of my favorite things to do is, I know your previous speaker on was talking about gifting to their children. So, you know, if you want to gift stocks, or if you want to gift a college education to your kids, there's so many different ways that you can really maximize on gifting, and also to organizations that take gifts that you can write off on your taxes. So just make sure you're very intentional about where you're giving your money to, and that the purpose aligns with your purpose.
Absolutely. And so now we go to setting goals for 2022.
Yes.
You talk about having money conversations with significant others, the people in your household. Just how important is this to bring the whole house, or your whole, I guess, your support system, right, in on the money decisions?
Yeah. So you know what? It takes a team. It really does take a village. I know that that's a common saying, it takes a village to raise a child, but it does also take a village to meet your financial goals. You know, you have accountability partners. And so before we're setting goals, before we're writing a budget, before we're doing any of that hard work, I want to take a moment to just dream. Dream as if money were no object. Dream, where would I go on vacation if money were no object? Where would I live if money were no, I know, just close your eyes and dream.
I know, right?
Because you know what that does? It spurs your mind to think these things are attainable for me, number one. And it also helps to keep you motivated when the work gets hard.
Okay.
So I just take a moment and I say, you know what? This year we're going to Greece. This year we're going to Italy. This year we're going to Spain. Like, I just dream so big. And then what I do is take that dream to pen and paper. So I write down my goals, write down my vision, and work it backwards. So you break it down into a 12-month plan, including a financial plan, including the types of work that you're going to do. A lot of people have these big goals for 2022, right? Buying a home, buying a car, going on vacation, having a little fun for a change, right?
Right.
So you want to make sure that your funds are aligned with those goals. So here's an example, like if you want to buy a home, but you need to save for the down payment, what does that down payment look like? How much do you need? And can you work it backwards? Like, for example, saving $2,000 a month to meet that goal. Also, with buying a home, you need to make sure your credit is squared away. So how long is it going to take you to square away your credit?
So what I'm hearing is, I think we're having a little technical difficulties here, folks. But it sounds like Danielle's saying, discover those big goals, right? And then break them down into small steps. Much like if you have tax savings or charitable giving goals, then break those down so that they're a lot more attainable for you. And so, Danielle, I think we're frozen here, but just in case you guys didn't check this out, we are talking with Danielle Shirley Classy, and it looks like we had some technical difficulties here. I'm going to see if we can add her right back on. Hopefully we can. Just a moment, Danielle. Invests. Here we go. I'm inviting her right back on, folks. It looks like we just had a little internet kerfluffle there where it dropped off. But we've been talking to Danielle about how to wrap up the end of the year finances and how to go back into the new year strong. She talked about how you can consider tax savings options before you end the new year, and you can also max out on all of your accounts meaning retirement, and health savings accounts, maybe even gifting someone other accounts. Last week, we had someone come on to talk about gifting kids stocks for the holiday season. So that's another way to do that. And so another thing that Danielle talks about is attempting to learn something new about money every month next year. I love that idea because you can have courses that you can learn online or maybe even read books. And then also, Danielle has a special love for teaching millennial moms how to invest. And so you can go right ahead and find out more information on her page. Her page is Danielle Invests. And I'm just going to see if we can bring her back on one more time. One more time, folks, just to close us out because she gave some really good advice for you. I want to make sure you get a chance to talk to her one more time. Any questions, though? I saw someone on here fixing your finances. Antoinette, you talked about how you maxed out of your account. As well. Yep, many people do that. A lot of times, many people have to get to the time in their financial journey, the point in their financial journey when they can afford to not have as much disposable income as they do have, right? So they'll be able to actually increase their or not their tax contribution, their retirement contribution. And so, guys, it looks like we won't be able to get Danielle back on. I'm so sorry about that. However, if you have more questions about Danielle Shirley, about her How to Invest for Kids course, as well as all of her other courses under the International Money University brand, go on over to Danielle's page. And I hope you have a lovely day. Make sure you tune in next week. We are going to be back for another great episode of Your Money Story. So have a lovely day, everyone. Bye-bye.